Good morning and welcome to Dobutsu Kyoji, the Animal Liberation Temple. Good morning, Tiny Salazar, and good morning, Martin, and good morning, Jackie. So good to see you here. It does appear I am correctly live on Facebook and YouTube, which is really good. Oh, good morning, Yolanda. Good morning, Father Robert. So good to see you. We'll start with the updates. As you saw, did not light incense this morning, mainly because I'm out. I don't have any more, and those are expenses that come secondarily to making sure the animals have enough food and all their needs are being taken care of. And things have become very tight uh, financially lately, so incense will have to wait, and we'll make sure all the animals have enough food and things like that. Oh no. Um, yeah. So yeah. Prayers for Marty this morning is going in for gallbladder surgery in a minute. Um, yeah. So if those out there, Marty is my stepfather and a um, dear friend to myself and the animals, and a contributor to the Animal Liberation Temple. So please pray for his health and well-being. Good morning, Maya. So good to see you. So, um, updates on the residents. We have the ducks who are in their feeding area eating breakfast. Breve, Grave, Amanda, and Renee all doing really well. Lucy the dog is inside, laying on the bed. She's awake because she was out running earlier. She also got breakfast already. The goats, Rob, Matt, and Philip, I saw them yesterday. They're doing really well. The tortoises are still in the medical building. They're doing really well. Good morning, Pauline. So good to see you. The turkeys, Priya and Harriet, are in their feeding areas, finishing up breakfast. The roosters, Jax over here and Jimmy over there, are both doing really well. Our guinea fowl friend Wendy is doing well. The roosters in the main aviary, Sabrina, May, Brad, Hard One, Mr. Black, Elton, and Magnus are all doing well. The hens in the main aviary, Glennis, Gwen, Alice, Melissa, Melinda, Sunny, Dora, and Daniela are all doing really well. My rat friends inside the house, Yamabushi and Hasu, are doing well. I don't know if the microphone picks up. If you can hear Sequoia, the dove. She's saying hello this morning. And then the Cornishes in the Cornwell corner, Poppy, Aster, Ivy, Azalea, Peony, Cynthia, Lotus, Edward, Magnolia, Hazel, Sage, Marigold, Camilla, Hydrangea, Holly, and Zinnia are all doing really well. And then we have our pigeon friends, FP, Champagne, Appletini, Tulin, Sasha, Yo-Yo, Petey, Ricky, Spencer, Shambles, Beluga, Beth, Pee-wee, Cascade, Augustus, Frankie, Rufus, Harper, Elliot, Snickers, Boba, Kismet, Farah, Angus, Pandora, Jones, Sin, Harriet, Lago, Fred, Tremonto, Halo, Vin, Capone, Thimble, Percy, Pacino, Lacey, and Sasha the Second. All doing really well. Oh, good morning, Conrad. So good to see you. Thanks for joining our live stream this morning. our pond in front of us is very full, and either a frog or a fish was kind of like jumping out, so it was caught my eye earlier. Um, very very wonderful to see some of the live animals. Also, if folks watched my live streams from last year, there's this pair of ducks who come here every year when the pond starts to fill up, and they're back again. So the lovely duck couple come and uh, visit here. Just two ducks, always, never more than that. Always a male and a female duck. It's very wonderful to see them here again this year. Well, good morning, Yolanda. Yeah, the dove, and I'm glad you can hear the dove, and of course the roosters. They're very, very loud. So I want to start today's services, but before I begin with the recitation of the Heart Sutra, I do want to dedicate some time to do the Medicine Buddha mantra um, for my stepfather, um, Martin, as he's about to go into surgery. If you have the prayer book, I'm looking for that. Yeah, page 29 has the mantra, and so we'll recite that now. Om Bhagate Bhagate Maha Bhagate Raja Samukate Soha. 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 We'll now start with the recitation of the Heart Sutra in Japanese, found on page 4 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Maka Hanya Haramita Shinyo Kanji Zai Bosatsu Gyojin Hanya Haramita Jieso Kengo Onkai Kodo Isai Kuyaku Shari Shikifu Kuku Fui Shiki Zokuze Kuku Zokuze Shiki Ju Sogyo Shiki Yaku Bunyo Ze Shari Shize Shoku So Fusho 不滅不空不浄不増不減税国中無式無重創業式無限二微絶真に無式小公未速法無限界内し無意識界無無妙薬無無明人内し無老死薬無老死人無空種滅度無知薬無得意無所得高膨大さた永遠やはらみだ更新無形下無形下公無苦不運理在天道無足行涅槃三世小仏へ般やはらみだ高徳はのくたら三役三菩提高知般やはらみだ世代真宗世代妙宗世無常宗罪無東道宗の上位最空真実不高校絶般やはらみだ種族絶種圧がてがて腹がて腹そうがておじそわか般若心経願わくはこの功徳をもってあまねく一切に及ぼし我ら年だ富な仏道Animal Liberationのマーティン・チャップマンの上善こと地方三子佛子孫菩薩佛子孫菩薩もこさもこほじゃほろみWe'll now recite the refuge prayer in Tibetan and then in English, page 8 of the Animal Liberation Temple Prayer Book. Sangye chodan tuki chanam la janju paduk teknik yepsu chi taki jinso kipe sonam ki chola penjer sangye jupar sho. The Buddha, Dharma, and excellent assembly of the Sangha, until I attain enlightenment in these I take refuge. By my practice of the six perfections, may all sentient beings attain the state of Buddhahood. We now recite the four great Bodhisattva vows, Shigi Seigan. Shujo Muhen Seigando Bono Mujin Seigandan Homon Muryo Seigangak Butsudo Mujo Seiganjo. However numerous sentient beings, I vow to enlighten them all. However inexhaustible my delusions, I vow to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the dharmas, I vow to master them all. However endless the enlightened way, I vow to follow it fully. We now recite the 6 vows to our dear animal friends. However numerous my dear animal friends, I vow to liberate them all. However diverse the methods of animal liberation, I vow to support them all. However unheard their voices, I vow to speak out for them all. However painful and inexhaustible the methods of suffering, I vow to bear witness to them all. However infinite the cages and tanks, I vow to empty them all. However difficult animal liberation, I vow to achieve it completely. We now recite the 100-syllable Vajrasattva purification mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Anupalaya Vajrasattva Te Nopachista Cheto Me Bhava Sitosho Me Bhava Siposho Me Bhava Anurato Me Bhava Sarva Sita Me Prayata Sarva Karma Sita Me Chicham Shri Yam Guru Hom Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sava Tathagata Vajra Mame Mucha Vajri Bhava Mahasamamya Safaha. Yeah, it's a little cloudy, which is not great for our solar this morning. But hopefully the clouds will burn up a little bit. We'll get a little bit of sun for our solar. Running the generators is very expensive, but it feels nice, not too cold. And I'm glad that the cold snap is kind of over for you, Jackie. That's really good news. This week I want to discuss a common thread that I keep seeing, and it's become upsetting to me because I see two things happening. I see one, this idea that the world is either excited or supporting the oppression of others. And when I say others, and when I say the oppression of others, I mean human animals, non-human animals, our environment, just the oppression of all. And either people are supporting this type of oppression or excited to see it. And this makes me very sad. And then on the flip side of that, I am seeing those who don't support it, but are so worn out and exhausted from seeing the oppression, from seeing suffering, that they want to give up. And this also makes me very sad. And I think I'm not talking to any one group, because I think all of us can inadvertently, or maybe sometimes on purpose, possess both of these negative qualities. The negative quality of supporting or being happy of the oppression of others, or apathy, or the giving up on this world and the large amount of suffering we might experience. So this isn't directed at any uh, one group or one person. I think we all have a little bit of each. Maybe one we lean one way to the other more than more than some. But um, I want to address the oppression of others. Sometimes we do this inadvertently. Sometimes we're not realizing that we're causing this because we may view the world as crime and punishment. And so we see someone commit a crime and we want to see them be punished. And I think we forget that that punishment sometimes is oppression of others. And this is not a very compassionate or kind thought to have. And I want to encourage folks to radically practice compassion and kindness, to look into yourself and evaluate your own thoughts and ideas. And is my thoughts supporting the oppression of others? And I think we can all clearly can easily see if our thoughts are oppressing humans. I think we're almost designed as fellow human beings to be able to do this. And sometimes we don't do this so well for our non-human animal friends. You know, so I want to challenge those who might be causing harm to our animal friends inadvertently from the choices that we make, such as like eating them or wearing them or using products that test on them. Maybe we just don't think about it enough. And so I want to challenge people every time you sit down to a meal that you're thinking, am I causing pain to other beings? Am I causing suffering to other beings? Am I oppressing other beings? And most of the people that are watching this are probably already doing this without thought. So that's good. So then if you are, then I also want you to evaluate how you feel about other human beings, how you think about other human beings, how you look at, your so-called opposition, and are you wanting for punishment of others? Are you wanting others to be oppressed as some sort of retribution? And this is a very sad way to see our world, and this is why we continue to suffer. Um, we talk about like violence leads to the cycle of violence, oppression leads to the cycle of oppression. And if we want to break the cycles of violence and oppression, we have to approach these situations with kindness and with healing. We have to be stronger than the things that oppress us. We have to react with kindness and love and care and compassion. This doesn't mean that we don't stand up for ourselves. We absolutely should stand up for ourselves. But standing up for ourselves is not standing up on the backs of others. Standing up for ourselves means that when we're confronted with oppression, that we react with compassion and kindness, that we... oh, I lost my video feed. 1 second. Sorry about that. So I feel strongly that the only way to stop oppression is to respond with kindness and compassion. It has to do with the choices that we make, and then it has to do with how we treat each other. It has to come from a place of we need to stop desiring the punishment of others, but desiring the freedom of others, desiring the liberation of others. And this is where this needs to come from. Then on the flip side of this is this idea that we're so worn down by the suffering that we experience in this world, the suffering that we witness. We're so worn down by the oppression that we just give up. Like, oh, I just want to leave this world behind, you know. And this is also not a great way to end the suffering of others, to end the suffering of self. We too have to take action and respond with kindness and compassion. We need to take these signs that we're seeing around us that the world is getting worse and I see more suffering than I've ever seen before. This means that we need to react with even more kindness, with even more compassion, with even more love. This is now, it becomes vitally important. If we are tired of seeing the suffering of others, then this is the time that we must take every opportunity to react with kindness and compassion. We must take every opportunity to challenge oppression with love and kindness and compassion. I think this is the time that we seek educating one another, that we seek communication with one another, that when we see oppression happen, we speak up and we say something about it. And we say something about it from the position of love and compassion, that we want love and compassion for all beings. And not that we want them to be punished for what they've done, not that we want them to suffer more for the suffering that they cause. Like I said, the suffering only leads to the cycle of suffering. And if we want this to end, if we want the suffering to end, we must react with kindness and compassion. We must react with kindness and compassion. But what's important is that we actually react, that we actually do something, that we actually stand up and say something. I think we live in a time of urgency, that we need folks to speak up. We need folks to react with kindness and compassion and love and speak from your hearts. We need people to not give up. In fact, I would say in a time, in a world that we feel is experiencing immense suffering, means that we must respond with compassion and kindness and love more radically than we've ever done before. That we must speak up whenever possible to spread love and compassion, to remind each other, to remind our friends that we all have Buddha nature. If we're from the Dharmic traditions, we all are children of God. We all are one in this universe. Whatever it is that connects you spiritually to other beings, we need to remind each other of how we are all connected through love and compassion, and that violence and oppression and destruction is only going to lead to the more violence and oppression and destruction, and that we can't respond in anger. We can no longer afford to not only just give up, but and respond in anger and respond with punishment. We can no longer afford that in this world. we must reach out to each other and speak with love and kindness and compassion and really change this world. I gave a talk on New Year's about that. That as Buddhists, we see adversity, we see the suffering of others as a opportunity to make a change. We see the strife that we go through as these opportunities to actually change the world. If things were pretty simple, things were easy, if we lived in times where we are all very comfortable, then it's just a matter of maintaining. But I don't think we live in a world like that anymore. I think we live in a world of extreme violence and oppression. And so this is not the time to be comfortable. This is the time to love radically, to actually get up and say hello to my neighbor and remind them that we're here for them, to reach out to those that are oppressed and lend them a helping hand. You know, if I was to apply that to our non-human animal friends, go to a shelter, adopt a dog, go to a factory farm, save a chicken, go to your sanctuary and help out and volunteer. Feed the ducks at the park. Not with bread. Bring floating seeds or cooked rice, not bread. But, responsibly do these things. I'm going to look at one of these comments because it caught my eye. I always say that I was born on the wrong planet. Maybe. But we're here right now. We're born right here. We are in the here and now. And if you feel the oppression in this world, if you feel the violence and the sadness and the suffering in this world, if you can feel that, that means you have the opportunity to make a difference. You have the chance to do something. If you feel that you're born in the wrong world, then that is your call to action to make it the right planet, to make it the right world. This is of extreme importance, and so I am humbly begging all of you to go out into the world and do something actively kind, actively compassionate, with active love, to stand up for the oppressed, to make changes in this world that doesn't involve suffering and violence and oppression, because these are the changes that we need. And I want to remind folks, I'm not singling out any one party over the other. I see so much disagreement and arguments about what political party is correct and which one is wrong, and this gets us nowhere. Only love and compassion and kindness are going to get us anywhere. Only actively trying to stop the oppression of others is going to get us anywhere. So please try to remember that this week. Rescue a chicken, pet a dog, Say hello to your neighbors. You know, when you speak for your own political views, make sure that you're speaking with love and compassion and the wanting desire to benefit all beings, and not just your ideology and not just your view of the way the world should go. The world should benefit all beings and not just some. I hope that makes sense to people. That's kind of my message for today. If you have questions or concerns, or if I kind of rambled nonsensically, please reach out and remind me that I need to be more concise. We're going to conclude with a recitation of the Animal Liberation Prayer, as well as a dedication of merit to our dear animal friends. And when I recite these prayers, it's great for those of you who have the Animal Liberation Temple prayer book and can read along with me. I think that's really important. To say these words aloud are really important. But even if you're unable to do that, or if that's not part of the practice for you, listen carefully to the words. Listen carefully to how I can apply these prayers today in my life. How can I apply this to all non-human animals and human animals, to my world, to my planet, to my environment, to my politics? How can I apply all of these things so that we can accomplish animal liberation for all and human liberation for all? May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends, who are subject to unbearable pain in labs throughout the world, be free of all suffering. May alternatives to animal experimentation, vivisection, and dissection be implemented immediately. May bodhicitta, the quality of compassion that leads to enlightenment, fill the hearts of those who imprison them. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends, who suffer endless days, months, years, locked in tiny cages unable to move, be filled with peace and calm. May all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends who are forcibly taken from their families, be reunited, and may all families be able to stay together. May the hearts of those who work in slaughterhouses, factory farms, and all industries that exploit our dear animal friends be filled with bodhicitta, so the very thought of harm is purified. May they never kill again, and may the slaughterhouse lines, factory farms, and all industries that exploit our dear animal friends become immediately empty. May no animal be afraid or depressed. May their bodies be free of injuries, disease, and illness. May the mutilation of their bodies be forever ceased. May those who need homes or have been driven from them find shelter, plentiful food, and water. May there be liberation for those tortured for fur, entertainment, or who are hunted. May those who believe that they're superior to our brother and sister animals develop perfect equanimity, and may they realize in their hearts that all sentient beings possess Buddha nature, the potential to be completely free of suffering, and that they are not ours to kill or exploit. May the billions of land and sea-dwelling sentient beings who are abused, exploited, and killed due to greed, hatred, and ignorance be free of suffering. May all the nets, hooks, blades, projectiles, traps, snares, cages, pens, tanks, lethal restraints, saddles, reins, prods, bait, poison, and all instruments used to harm and exploit our dear animal friends be forever abolished. May all human and non-human sentient beings live together in harmony, peace, equanimity, and achieve perfect enlightenment quickly. May we all experience happiness, safety, freedom, and animal liberation in this very lifetime. Throughout our many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue we have accomplished, including this aspiration for peace, and all that we will ever attain, this we offer for the benefit of all sentient beings, especially our dear animal friends. May suffering, exploitation, and unnecessary death decrease for every being, while wisdom, bliss, and compassion increase in this and every future life. May we clearly and instantly perceive the plight of our dear animal friends with the urgency and seriousness they deserve, and our every action leads us to complete liberation. May we quickly attain enlightenment, and it will work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. Quick comment about Yolanda. Only humans can make life so complicated and unnecessarily hard. I do agree, Yolanda. And I think that's exactly why it's up to us humans to make it uncomplicated and necessarily loving and compassionate and peace. It's up to us humans to do something. Us humans have caused a lot of pain, destruction on this planet. And so, therefore, it is up to us to correct these mistakes. It's up to us to make a difference and to make a change. We'll do our quick tour as I need to let all the animals out because breakfast is done. Sorry, my mic keeps, or my camera keeps switching out of modes or something. I don't know. I gotta figure out what's going on with it. I'm trying something a little different here. I'm bringing my tripod in here so you can kind of just see everything. Let's go see what everyone's doing over here. Oh, we got a Daniela's. Well, no, that's Alice who's flying up on things. Hi, Dora. Oh, that's pretty, Sabrina. I think everybody's really enjoying this weather. Everybody's pretty active today. I'll walk over here and say hi to Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy. How you doing? Being a rooster, huh? Looking good, Jimmy. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for today's Sunday service. Live here at the Animal Liberation Temple, the Butsukayoji, where we are at the service of the spiritual and physical liberation of our dear animal friends. Love to hear from folks. Please reach out if you have any questions or comments. Please share our Facebook live stream. That really helps out a lot. Please share any of our posts. We haven't posted in a little while, but any of our older posts. It really helps get the algorithm out there. Our YouTube is still struggling a lot, so maybe pop over to our YouTube channel and subscribe and like and do all those things, comment. That could help us get out there to more folks. If you have the ability to donate, please donate. And also donate to your local sanctuaries and help out where you can. Get out there and get active. Spread that love and compassion and love to all beings. Thank you all very much, and have a wonderful week.